Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So today we'll be discussing from the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, text 13. So I'll recite the verse and translation and we'll discuss. Gneyam yattat pravakshayami yajnatvam asnute anadi matparam brahma nasat uchyate. Translation. I shall now explain the knowledge, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. This is beginless and it is subordinate to me. It is called Brahman, the spirit, and it lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So here, this 13th chapter, the title of the chapter is Nature, Enjoyer, and Consciousness. So it starts with Arjuna asking Krishna few questions. He says, I want to know about some things. And he says, I want to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and end of knowledge. So Arjuna was very specific on what are the various things he wants to know. And Krishna starts answering Arjuna one by one. So first thing he says is the field is the body, right? And regarding the knower, he says, I am the knower in all the bodies. And along with the individual person in the body, Krishna is also the knower in all the bodies. And then he talks about the field of activity and who is the knower and the knowledge and various items of knowledge. And in the past few verses, we discussed about the various items of knowledge. What are the things that are important for everyone to know, and actually they turn out to be the qualities important for a human being, and one should cultivate the qualities. Now, once all those qualities are cultivated, what is that one should know? So Krishna speaks about what is the knowable. So here Krishna is saying, I will now talk about what is knowable. I shall now explain the knowable. What is it that one should know? Gneyam yattat pravakshyami. Gneyam, knowable. What is the knowable? Yattat, that pravakshyami. I shall now explain. Krishna is saying, I will now explain that what is knowable. And what happens? Yagnatva amritam asnute. He's saying by knowing this, what is the most important thing to know, the knowable, by knowing what happens? Yagnatva amritam asnate. Amritam. Amritam means actually amrityu. Amrita means where there is no death, eternity. You know, another way name for Amrita is nectar. Why nectar? Because one who drinks nectar, it is said that he will become immortal. The demigods in the heavenly planets, the whole Mohini Avatara, one who knows will know that once nectar was available, everyone wanted to drink it so that they can become immortal. So Krishna is saying here, Yad Gnatva Amritam Asnute, by knowing this, one will actually taste eternity. One will actually go towards eternity. And then what is this? Anadi Matparam Brahma. Anadi, Krishna is saying this is beginless. Adi means origin, begin. Anadi means it has no origin, no begin. And Matparam Brahma, it is actually subordinate to me. And what is it called? It is called Brahma. Brahma means the spirit soul. Nasattan Nasat Uchyate. So, and then it says, neither it has cause nor it has effect. It means it is beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So Krishna is telling now about something that is to be known, which is beyond this material experience. It is beyond this material world of creation and dissolution. We all know the material world, everything comes into existence and everything is dissolved one day. Even the modern scientists accept that this universe is constantly expanding, and then there will be a time where it will stop expanding and it will actually start contracting, and everything will be dissoluted, everything will be devastated at that time. And this is very interesting to know. The modern scientists are actually only discovering what is already mentioned in our Vedic literature. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly said how this universe comes about. When Mahavishnu in the Karana ocean, he exhales, these universes come out, and it is said these universes will slowly become larger and larger in size. And then Krishna expands, Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. He lies down in each universe, and from there Lord Brahma is created. Krishna further expands as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And then at the end of life of Brahma, the universe, this universe that is coming out from exhaling of Mahavishnu, they will start contracting and they'll become again small and they will enter into the body of Mahavishnu. So it is the same thing, the modern scientists are also discovering very similar. So this is what Prabhupada actually says, that is the beauty of the Vedic knowledge. It will save us time from lot of research work if we just accept what is provided, because Dharmantu Shakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. This whole Vedic literature is given by Krishna himself, who is the creator, who is the originator. If you have a manual of a very complicated device, whatever you go through will come out to be true if you don't use the manual and you try to research on your own. Let's say somebody says, no, no, I don't want to look at the manual, I will figure it out everything on my own. So he might spend hours and hours and figure out, oh, this is the volume button. But if you look in the manual, it's already mentioned. And they say, oh, this is the power button. Or, this is what this setting will adjust. So, in the same way, everything is mentioned in the Vedic literature. So, here Krishna is saying about this thing that is to be known. And what is to be known? Actually, Prabhupada clarifies that, Krishna himself says that is the spirit soul, the Atma. And by knowing this, just by knowing about the Atma, the constitutional position, that the soul which is subordinate, Krishna says it is Matparam, which is subordinate to the super soul, this knowledge, if one attains, if one actually internalizes this, he will actually start tasting eternity. He will become freed from all kinds of distress. He will be relieved just by knowing this fact. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, further in the 18th chapter, Krishna says that this Brahma, the Brahma that is mentioned here, that Anadi Yat Gnatvamritam Asnute, Anadi Matparam Brahma, this spirit soul. Actually, Krishna mentioned even in the second chapter about the spirit soul, the Jivatma, that it has no beginning or end, it always existed, it doesn't die when the body ends, it doesn't burn, it cannot be cut into pieces, it cannot be dried, it is always existing, it is eternal, and it does not end with the body. When the body ends, it is only the body that ends, but the soul moves on to another body. So in this way, Krishna mentions about this Brahma, and further he is saying now that actually if you understand this Brahma, you will become relieved, you will become free, and you'll start tasting eternity. This Brahma, this Krishna explains further in the 18th chapter that what happens once if he knows about this Brahman, this spirit soul, our identity as a soul, our identity as something beyond this mind, body, and intelligence, beyond this material existence, what will happen if you know? Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kangshati. So Krishna is saying Brahma Bhuta, the same Brahma that Krishna is mentioned here. What he's saying here, Anadi Mat Param Brahma, by knowing this, Yagnatva Amritam Asnute. This Brahma, Krishna further explains that one who knows what is his position, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, by knowing this, one becomes Prasannatma. Prasanna means joyful. He will become a joyful soul, Prasannatma. How? Just by knowing this. Just by knowing this particular understanding of Brahma, that I am not the body, I am the soul. Actually, if one internalizes this, one completely understands this, he will become Prasannatma. I remember long back, I was in temple and a few visitors came and he asked, oh, have you read Bhagavad Gita? I had mentioned, yes, I got an opportunity to read. And he said, what is your favorite verse? He asked me. And I was mentioning some verses. Then he said, oh, do you know what is my favorite verse? He said, he quoted this verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati Nakangshati. He said, this is my favorite verse. By this, I feel so relieved. See, Krishna himself is saying, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, he'll become joyful. And what is the situation? Na Sochati Nakangshati. This is what happens if one becomes Brahma Bhuta. If one understands very clearly that he is not this body, he is actually the spirit soul, the next thing is na sochati na kangshati. He'll become relieved because everything around us, all our anxieties, all our concerns, all our disturbances are all because of our attachment to the material things. Our attachment, our understanding that I am a product of this material atmosphere and all material things around me connected to me are actually mine and they belong to me and it is my possession and it is my responsibility to safeguard them. It's my responsibility to accumulate more. The moment we start associating with the material atmosphere around us that becomes a cause of anxiety. Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada samudvigna dhiya asatgrahat. Sada samudvigna, always in anxiety. Why? Because asatgrahat, asat, that is temporary, we have accepted as ours. But we are actually eternal. So, what is the position if we know that we are not this body, we are not this material, we are not related to the material atmosphere around us? Then what happens? As Krishna is saying, Brahma Buddha Prasannatma, na sochati na kangshati. These two things are the immediate symptoms. What is that? Na sochati. Sochati means lamenting, being disappointed. Oh, I have lost something. Why does this lamentation happen? Lamentation happens when you lose something. You have worked so hard, you have accumulated something, and when you lose it, there is disappointment, there is lamentation. And everyone in this life, the nature of this world is such that nothing stays with us. Whatever we accumulate, whatever we achieve, will slowly go away. People might accumulate a lot of assets. At there will be some point of time they will lose it. People may earn a lot of money. Some point of time they will lose it. We keep hearing in the news the stocks, especially in this country, there is no way to save other than investing in stocks. And sometimes suddenly the stock market goes down. People are disappointed. Oh no, so much value is lost. Or they will invest in something like Bitcoin or something. Suddenly it goes up, suddenly it comes down. So in this way, if you go on analyzing everything, all our material possessions, they are bound to be lost at some point of time. It is only a matter of time. Everything that we have, we will only lose. We might be gaining, but constantly in our life, we will be losing also. We will be losing sometimes relationships, we will be losing sometimes assets, sometimes property, sometimes fame, designation, right? Sometimes people will have a good position, they will be proud and so, and then some circumstance they will lose the designation, there is disappointment. So there is always something we are anxious to safeguard what we have. And that is what Sochati is, always lamentation, always anxiety to not lose what we have. And does it stop there? Well, there is always anxiety to not lose what we have. And then there is Kangshati also. What is Kangshati? That means desiring. I want more. Unfortunately, this nature of material world is such that whatever you have will not keep you happy. You will only desire for more. There is a nice quote that says, if whatever you already have does not make you happy, what makes you think that getting more will make you happy? Right? Because whatever we have at one point of time, we did not have. And we started accumulating, thinking that by having that, I'll be happy. But as we get those, how long did the happiness last? Not even for few days. And then immediately the mind goes for the next thing. Why? Because someone has more than that. You might think, oh, if I get rich, if I get little money, I'll be happy. And if you get some money, immediately the mind will see somebody has more than you. And then you're again kangshati, you want to, you desire more. If you get a house, are we satisfied? We'll see, no, somebody has a bigger house. If you get a good car, somebody has even a more expensive car. Or somebody has some fame, some designation you have got, someone has even bigger title. I want that. So this is the business of the mind. It always drives us to get something more. Why? Because we have associated ourselves with this material atmosphere. And we think our happiness, our pleasure, our satisfaction, our success is dependent on the material progress around us. And this is what happens, Sochati and Kangshati. What we don't have, we are always desiring, we are always hankering. The moment we have, the happiness, the pleasure lasts for a very short while, and then it switches into Sochati. Now we have to safeguard it. And while you're constantly safeguarding what you have, we are constantly want to build more and more and more. So what is this leading to? A continuous anxiety, as Prahlad Maharaj said, Sada samudvignadiya. Sada means always, always in anxiety, always in anxiety to keep safeguard, retain what I have, and always in anxiety to work towards what I don't have. But then what is Krishna saying? If you become Brahma Bhutha, you will become na sochati, na kangshati. You know that you are the spirit soul. You have nothing to do with this body. Definitely you are in this body, but that is not all in all. The body is a temporary covering, it's a temporary dress. Dehino asmin yata dehe, Krishna says, Dehina asmin, it is in the body. And the deha is always changing. Kaumaram yavanam jara. It is always changing from youth to young to old age. And tata dehantara, this deha will end also. Dehantara prapti, then it will get another body. So why am I so worried about this body and the bodily circumstances? Definitely, I am in the body. I have to take care of it. Just like we all, if you have a car, definitely you have a car, you have to take care of it. But all your life you won't keep thinking about, oh, what do I do for the car? How do I make sure there is no dent, there is no scratch? How do I make sure the car becomes better? How do I upgrade my car? We are not always thinking about the car. That is foolish. We are a different person beyond this external object. So in the same way, once one knows that one is the soul, not the external body, they will become relieved. Relieved from what? When there is a loss, they are not so much disappointed. They know it is a part of life based on karma. Okay, I have accumulated something, it has gone. Anyway, it will leave me one day. If it won't leave me one day, I will leave it, isn't it? Can anybody hold on to anything all their life? You try safeguarding everything, but end of life, what does Krishna say? Mrityu sarva harascha aham. Mrityu. And sarva harascha aham. Everything will be taken away. I will take it away as time, Krishna says. So this knowledge, if one knows that I am this soul, though I am in this body, I have a particular duty to do as this body, but I don't have to be so much attached to everything related to the body because the body itself is temporary. So why worry? Why become anxious about trying to safeguard so much what I have and not lose or be disappointed when I lose something? That is the part of life. That is the nature. One who understands that I am the soul, then I am in the body, then that is the karma that is acting on the various circumstances of the body. Based on my karma, I will get something. Based on my karma, I will lose something. This is a temporary body. Why should I be worried so much? And na kankshati. Now, why worry about accumulating so many material things? Name, fame, designation, property, wealth, health, beauty, all these things. Everything is anyway temporary. Why work for something temporary? Why take so much anxiety for something temporary? Why not work for something that is eternal? Why, when I am eternal, when I have an eternal life opportunity, why should I be worried about temporary life? Because what happens if I'm only worried about temporary life? That is what I will get. Again birth, again death, again old age, again disease. So we have to come out of this loop. So this Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, if we internalize this understanding, we know that I am the spirit soul. If we just meditate on this, if we understand this very deeply, we will become very relieved that I don't have to worry about all the circumstances around me. It is this my karma, playing, and I have to just accept. And there is nothing actually we can change about our circumstances. People work so hard trying to change something that they cannot change. Why? Because if you go to an expert astrologer, he will tell very clearly what is destined in this life for you. He says, oh, this much money you will get, this much relationship, this much, life you will have, this much happiness, this much distress. They can calculate up to the date and the month and age and year. They'll say at this age, this stage, this will happen. That age, this that will happen. They even know the time of death. They can calculate when exactly you will die. So what does that mean? That means whatever we do, how much ever we work hard, we can't get beyond what we are destined. So does that mean we should not work? No, we should definitely work. We should do our due diligence. We should do our due duty, not over endeavor. If you are all working, there is a limited time, we have to work, say 8 hours or something. If you do that, you will get what you're destined. If you over endeavor, you might temporarily get something only to lose it again because the law of karma is there to balance out everything. So, by this knowledge, by knowing this, one becomes completely freed and not really worried about everything. And what will then work towards? One will actually work towards something that I can make a change. If my circumstances cannot be changed by me working towards those, why should I spend so much time and energy on that which I cannot change? I should actually spend my time and energy on something that I can change. And what is it that I can change? I can change my future life by how I react in every circumstance, by how I make my decision in every circumstance. By that, I am actually preparing my next life. Our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada used to say, every moment we are actually carving our next life. Like a sculptor, he carves a nice, sculpture. In the same way, we are carving our next life. Every moment, the way we act, we are deciding how our future life is going to be. If we act materialistically, if you are only worried about accumulating material things, then that is what will happen. We'll be born again in midst of the material atmosphere. But if we are using our time and energy to evolve and advance spiritually and working towards eternity, then we will actually get a spiritual body. We can go to the spiritual world. So this is the state of the Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. By knowing this, he will be freed from these material anxieties. He won't have anxieties of losing something. He won't have anxiety of gaining something. And it is even said he will actually see everyone in equal vision. In the fifth chapter, Krishna says about this Brahmabhuta person, what is his situation? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, because one who has this knowledge of eternity, this knowledge of the soul, this knowledge of the existence, that is the real knowledge. If one has this knowledge, this education, Vidya Vinaya, he will become gentle. And Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Suni Chaiva Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshinaha. So, what he's saying, if we have actually this knowledge, we'll become free and peaceful, and at the same time, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, everyone we will see with Pandita Samadarshinaha, one will see with equal vision. Even if he is a Brahmana, or he sees a cow, or he sees an elephant, or he sees a dog, or if he sees a dog eater, he sees them with an equal vision. Why? Because he's not seeing the external temporary body. Just like when we see people, we don't see their external dresses and then we classify them. Oh, this is red color dress he is wearing, he's this. Oh, this is blue color, he's this. It is foolish to look at the external dress. In the same way, you take it to the next level. It is only foolish to look at the external body but not look at the actual person, which is the soul in the body. Because of their karma, everyone has got a different body. There is no envy, there is no jealousy. Somebody has more than me, that is fine. It is their karma, they have it. And somebody has less than me, we will have, we won't become puffed up, and that is fine. Because of my karma, I have something, I might lose it tomorrow. Because of his karma, he has something. At the same time, this is all a temporary show. It is a play going on in this material world. We are all eternal, we should all work towards eternity. So this is how it will become the vision. And this knowledge, this is not just some kind of sentimental, mythological knowledge. Anybody who analyzes our existence, what Krishna speaks is very scientific. You can clearly analyze the living person and the dead person, the life, how it transmigrates, how the body is constantly changing. And actually, it's very surprising to know that many years ago, like say 400 BC, there was this great philosopher and thinker Socrates in Greece, and he has not read Bhagavad Gita, but he was a great philosopher and thinker. So this is around 2400 years ago. And he was very convinced about this presence of the soul, of the consciousness, of life. And he was so much convinced about this that he started preaching about it. Unfortunately, it was against the religious understanding of the Greece and Athens at that time, and they were not liking it. He was saying, no, we are actually eternal, this body is temporary. They were under the understanding that no, this body is once we get life, after this, we either go to hell or heaven. So they have so much attached to this bodily concept, but he was speaking beyond the bodily concept. Just by very deep philosophical introspection, one can actually come to this point. And Socrates was so convinced because this is science. Anybody who studies will discover what is science. If you do deep research, you will discover the fact. And this Socrates actually figured it out. He did not read Bhagavad Gita. There was no mythology or anything like that to say. And he understood that he's the soul. He was so convinced. He was preaching it. And then in the end, they were so disappointed with him. They wanted to punish him because he was going against this whole the standard religious understanding, and they decided to give him poison, and he will have to give up his life. And guess what happened? He was not at all concerned. In a very calm way, he said, that is fine, I can take, because he said, I know I am not this body. I am life, and I will continue to exist even if this body dies. And he took the poison. It is said very calmly he left the body. So, this understanding, we can see that if one has this understanding, one will actually become peaceful. Even at the time of death, he is not anxious. Why? He knows it is only the body that is going to go away, and body is anyway temporary. So, this is another example of how having this knowledge, one can become totally freed. And then Krishna further says, this Brahma knowledge, how is it that one attains this eternity? This is that Krishna says that Brahmabuddha Prasannatma na sochati na kangshati. One who knows this, he becomes joyful, no lamentation, no hankering. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu, we talked about it, how he looks at everyone with equal vision. And then what happens next? Mad bhaktim labate param. Because if you know you're not this body, you have nothing to do with this material atmosphere. It is only as a matter of duty, I have to deal with it. then what is your personal interest? What is it that you are working towards? As a living being, as a soul, as a conscious being, we have thinking, feeling, and willing. And if you know that this is not the right thing, what is it that you will work towards? You will work towards eternity, an eternal relationship. If you know you are the spirit soul, that means you will also know, if you're reading Bhagavad Gita, if you're getting the spiritual knowledge, you will also know that the spirit soul is nothing but a part of the supreme soul. And Krishna is saying here, Mat Param, that I am subordinate to whom? To the Supreme Soul. And what is my relationship? Krishna says, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. He says, my Amsha. That means I am the child of the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Father. And my duty is to revive that relationship. So, what will this Brahma Bhuta person do? What will one do? One who understands Brahma, he will not waste his time and energy in accumulating material things, which will only be lost one day. He will now start working towards his real interest. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Prahlad Maharaj says, the swartha gatim, if you actually want to work, if you're really selfish, if you're truly selfish, you want to do something good for yourself, that is, you should know that by building your relationship with Vishnu, that is your real self-interest. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. The swartha gati, the path for real self-interest. We all want to be happy, isn't it? That is the purpose of everyone's existence. They want to be happy. How? By reviving your relationship with Vishnu. And that's what Krishna is saying, Mat Bhakte Labate Param. After getting this understanding, one gets one bhakti to Krishna. Now, how can we perform bhakti to Krishna if we are bothered with all the material things around us? Right? You can't focus on something else when you are focused on a particular thing. When you have disinterest, when you move away your focus from material things, is when you can focus on spiritual things. And that's what Krishna is saying, a very scientific explanation. He says, Mat Bhakti Labate Param. One will get devotion to the Supreme. And that is what one should do. One should realize by knowing this knowledge that I am not this body. I have nothing to do with the material atmosphere. I am a spiritual being in a material body. And the purpose of life is not accumulating material things. It is to actually revive my relationship with the Supreme Lord. And Krishna has come personally and he's saying, come back to me. Manmanabhav Madbhakto. He is pleading. Actually, if you see Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is instructing, but among his instructions, he is pleading actually. He is requesting every soul, why are you lost in this material world? Why are you suffering unnecessarily? Prabhupada gives an example, a son of a very rich person. He has a very great palace of his father to live with very good comforts. But if the son somehow is lost, he goes away and is struggling in a very poverty stricken area, very hard, struggling for food, struggling for shelter, struggling for clothes. What will the father say? My dear son, come back. Why are you struggling here? This is not where you belong. You have a wonderful palace. We have a wonderful facility. Come and live with me so happily. Right? That is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. He's pleading. He's giving this knowledge. He's giving this information. He's telling everything and he's telling us what we should work on. Work on something that will actually help you, that will actually free you from all anxieties. Everyone is looking for happiness. Ananda Mayobhyasat. Satchit Ananda. Ananda is what everyone is looking for. You stop anybody who is very busy and ask him why is he doing this. He says, I want to be happy. But they don't know what will give them happiness. They are working towards something that will only give distress. Prabhupada gives an example. It is like flame. If there is fire, you want to extinguish it. You don't want that fire because it's causing anxiety and heat and trouble. So to extinguish, what are you doing? Instead of putting water, you're putting more fuel. What happens to the fire if you put more fuel? It will only increase. We want to be happy, we are distressed. And how are we doing? We are distressed because of being in the material atmosphere. But what are everyone's attempts? They're trying to increase their material things. It is like putting fuel in the fire, it will only increase the flame. So instead of increasing the flame, we have to put water. We have to do something that will reduce the flame. And that is what devotional service is all about. That is what Mat Bhakti, that is what Krishna is saying, become my devotee. And then you will be freed, completely relieved, completely free from all kinds of anxieties. And how is that bhakti done? Very simple. Krishna himself says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. And that is what Srila Prabhupada and all acharyas recommend. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Do Kirtan of the Lord. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. So by regularly, reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding about this, doing whatever service we can, and most importantly, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By doing this, we can revive our original eternal relationship and go back to eternal life. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions or comments, we can talk. Okay, so we'll end here. Thank you all. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki